for me, it's been like, I genuinely don't know when I last filmed, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, because I was so ahead with content before the big thing that happened in my life. But as for me, it feels like I've been away for a long time. I figured it was a good opportunity to kind of just sit down together and have a bit of a ramble catch up. I haven't done a ramble in a little while. My hair's looking a bit gappy. I haven't done anything to it today, so feeding into the chill vibes of this video. But I have got, well, I'm trying not to spill it on myself. One sec. A cup of tea in the trusty Snorlax mug. Put a bit too much milk in, but we move. I'm also just using the natural lighting from the big window in my spare room. It's good to be filming back in here. Some of you may have noticed we moved pretty much completely into the office for the videos over the last month or 2 months, and that's because essentially this room was full of shit, for want of a better word, a load of stuff that was coming with us to the big event. I don't know why I'm not just saying I got married. I did a community post which honestly shocked both me and my wife. I did it just because I was like, this YouTube channel is such a huge part of my life. I want to keep them updated, but it got a silly amount of likes and so many lovely comments. She was particularly flattered. You've made her ego go through the roof because a few of you complimented her looks, which, one, I don't blame you, but two, she was pretty chuffed with that, and I think it just showed what a nice community of people we have here. So honestly, thank you guys so much for that. But anyways, I digress. I'm back filming in this room for the first time in ages. But it is 6 o'clock, so if the lighting slowly starts getting a bit darker, it's because the sun is setting. But I thought we could sit down, have a cup of tea together, and essentially you can listen to me reminisce. I'll take you through our trip, the wedding, and then our honeymoon, and then we'll talk a little bit about this channel, the channel moving forward. Sounds like a plan. That's a good cuppa, to be fair. A bit less milk and it would have been perfect. So, I got married on the 21st of August. But before that, so that was on a Thursday, and we were getting married in Rhodes, in Greece. Essentially, we had a wedding in England booked, and it was so expensive. And a couple of years prior, we'd actually been to a wedding in Rhodes, and it was amazing. It was actually, we were plus ones of plus one, so we knew nobody, but it was incredible. So we essentially went through the same people who organised their wedding, and they did ours. But anyways, we flew out to Rhodes on the Friday evening, and we were staying in Faliraki. Now, actually, the night we got to Faliraki, so we got to our hotel, and as we were being shown to our rooms, there was a town-wide power cut, and there was literally this power cut for 3 hours or so, and it was around the time that we needed to go out and find somewhere to have dinner, but it was 10 o'clock at night, and nowhere would take us in because everywhere was kind of lit by candlelight, so wasn't super ideal. But eventually it came back on and we found somewhere and we had some food. Now, what was really nice about the run-up to the wedding was, so basically we stayed in this hotel, same hotel up until the wedding was over. But we flew out with, so it was me, my wife, and then my wife's. It's so weird to say, this actually might be the first instance of me saying my wife. I haven't really had to do it in like general life yet. Anyway, my wife's dad, his partner, and then my wife's dad's like best friend. So it was just the five of us that first night, and then slowly but surely our like friends and family kind of joined us day by day, a couple each day. So I think coming into the whole time, we were kind of worried a little bit that we might not be able to spend, time with the people we want to spend time with, and equally might feel like we're being pushed and pulled in all different directions. But because it was kind of like a gradual thing, we didn't feel like that at all. And then by Tuesday, literally all my friends that I'd invited and all of Charlie's friends that she'd invited were all at this hotel, and it was just like, it was lovely to be. I reckon we must have taken up a third to maybe half of the rooms in this hotel, but it was just wicked because you'd go down to breakfast and like, on the one hand I'd have my friend from uni there, and then my friends from home, and then like my auntie who lives in Northern Ireland. Like it was a very kind of surreal, kind of like fever dream type experience, but lovely all the same. What I was going to tell you before, on the Tuesday night we went out for like a big night out. It wasn't a stag really, because I had my actual stag do in England, in Birmingham, a month or so before. But Charlie, she hadn't had her hen do, so she went on a boat trip during the day from like 11 in the morning. And so while she was away, we started drinking like 11 o'clock. So you can imagine the kind of state we were in when it rolled round to dinner time. There was about 21 of us, I think. I'd booked a table, thankfully. But it was a right mix of, again, my friends from home, and then my two brothers. One of my brothers was my best man. And then like a mixture of Charlie's dad and his friends, and it was just like, and then we kind of met up with the girls and did like a big night out down the incredible Faliraki strip. It was good. Anyway, next day, hang in just a little bit. Anyway, next day, Wednesday, we're obviously hanging, just a little bit. Charlie decides she wants to go do some exploring in Old Town, and I did not want to leave the poolside, so she went off with her friends, and this coincided with, so she'd abandoned me. Not really, but yes. I was having like, it's hard to explain sometimes after a big night of drinking, like the depression the next day is crazy. So I had that, and then the pre-wedding nerves were kicking in, so all of this, that's twice I've done that now, I don't usually do this, essentially resulted in me having a crisis. I reckon throughout the day I had a string of 2 or 3 mini panic attacks at one point. So all my friends were there, like around the pool, but I was kind of like dotting about by myself, and there was like a big pool and then like a little like plunge pool. I literally sat on the edge of that with my feet in, like almost rocking back and forth like an insane person. And was a funny thing because we'd literally arranged this whole day with two women for this company we'd never met. We never even had a FaceTime call or anything. It was all over email. But honestly, the day could not have gone more perfectly, to be completely honest. It literally exceeded our every expectation. It was literally perfect. There was zero drama, nothing went wrong. It was literally just stupidly good. I think in the build-up, me and Charlie were not the biggest public displayers of affection, so we're a bit worried. Is it going to be clear we love each other? But you really do just get engrossed and enveloped by the day, and there was no issues with that. So we had the service. I'll put some pictures. If I wave, I should be able to track myself down in Premiere Pro and stick some in of the venue and stuff. And then we got a coach and did a little boat trip with some drinks, and then we got a coach back to the reception venue, which was like a beach bar restaurant place. And it was wicked. And the funny thing, I think a lot of the nerves of Wednesday was around my speech. But when it came round to doing my speech on the day, I literally was not nervous at all. And it's because for the actual wedding ceremony, me and Charlie wrote our own vows, and that was so nerve-wracking. How we did it was we put the ring partway on the finger, said the vows, and then pushed it all the way on. But I was shaking so much I literally couldn't get it on her finger, so she had to grab my wrist and guide my hand because I was so nervous. But then had a few drinks on the boat, and by the time it rolled around to my speech, there was zero nerves. I was just so excited, and I was really pleased because I kind of learned it to an extent up there. I literally had to look at my notes once the whole time, and that's because I got a big laugh and it threw me off, so my head got a bit too big. And it's funny, while I was doing it, I almost didn't want it to end. But yeah, and then we had some Greek dances. We got everyone up and doing various dances on the dance floor, and it was just amazing, really. So yeah, she said yes, I do, thankfully. So yeah, all went to plan. I don't really know what else there is to say. It was the perfect day, full stop. So then, basically what the rest of the trip looked like, literally the morning after, we had to go up to Rhodes to get a ferry, as we were going over to the Isle of Symi, literally just for 3 nights, but we kind of wanted to go to a different island other than Rhodes, just to kind of break up the time a little bit. And we'll be going back to Symi 100%. It was, the way I describe it is like Greek Balamori. Loads of beautiful houses, almost carved into the cliffs. And it's a small island with a very little population. But it was just amazing. We stayed in this little apartment which had a little plunge pool, and you could sit in it and look over the harbour. So nice. We definitely had some post-wedding blues, but there probably aren't many better places in the world to have those blues. And we spent time going through the photos everyone was sending in, and the guest book, and reading people's cards and stuff. So we managed to kind of prolong, the magical feeling, I guess. So we were there for 3 nights. Symi shrimps are the greatest thing ever. We must have had them like 4 or 5 times. They are delicious. But we didn't really do too much apart from get a water taxi to a beach one of the days. The other days we just chilled out and explored the town and went in some shops and ate a lot of seafood. And then after the 3 nights we got the ferry back to Rhodes. And then my family picked us up and took us to our hotel where we were for 6 nights, which was just the classic, like 5-star all-inclusive, like silly money and probably not pay, for a holiday again, but it's your honeymoon, you've got to splash out a little bit, I think. And we splashed out and went for one of those, I'll put it on the screen, like one of those pools that has like the swim up, like I've explained that horrendously, one of those rooms that has a swim up pool, which we'd never stayed in before, but it was just, yeah, that was lovely, and that was just 6 days of drinking beer, pina coladas, and eating copious amounts of food, pretty much. But it was needed, like the lead up to the wedding, and the wedding itself was, as it is for everybody, very emotionally tiring, so those 9 days were definitely needed. And then we came back Sunday. Our flight was delayed just under 3 hours. We got home at 10:30, and then I was at work on the Monday morning. Snap back to reality. But yeah, all in all, update. Just the best time ever, really. Could not have gone any better. But now I've been back at work 2 weeks. 2 weeks now. This is my 2nd week back at work, and I need to just get back into the flow of videos now. I'm gonna get back into uploading once every 4 or 5 days. Because previously I was uploading Mondays and Thursdays, but I'm just so busy now. It's become difficult, but I think one video every like 4 to 5 days. But each video is a longer video, so I don't think I'll be posting any like 20-minute videos that often. Most of them will be close to an hour. You guys seem to enjoy those ones more anyway, so that's the plan. And the plan is to I don't want to say I'll do it this I'd really like to do live streams again. I literally only did like 2 or 3 and then for some reason just stopped. But I'd really like to get the scary story live streams going again. And finally TikTok. I mean, I've definitely missed the boat with that. But I want to do it anyway. I enjoy short form content, so I've already planned like 8 TikToks, and I'm not going to post them on YouTube Shorts, so I'll link the TikTok down below if you want to go and follow that. There are like 6 videos on there already, but I'm really gonna give it a bit of TLC and upload regularly on there. Is that it? I think that's it. Oh no, the gaming channel. Like I say, I'm just so bloody busy. Bottom line. And but I would like to do something with it. I've debated just turning it into a full-on Pokemon like ASMR channel. So still technically gaming, but it would just be playthroughs of Pokemon games and then card openings and collection videos, that kind of thing. But I don't know. I'll and ah about that, but we'll see. But yeah guys, this was just going to be a quick little video to give you all an update and basically say I'm back. Well, even though for you I've not really been gone, but I'm saying it to myself, I'm back. And yeah, ready to get back into the videos. So this is coming out Thursday, which is today. But there'll be a new video on Sunday or Monday, I believe, and that'll be a conspiracy theories video. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, as I say it again, guys, thank you so much for the love on that post and for the lovely comments on the last video and just being lovely. Really, it's a super wholesome group of people we've got here. And yeah, me and my wife loved going through your comments, so thank you all so much. And yeah, that's it for tonight. So if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like and subscribe if you're new. But until the next video, everybody,